The final night of competition out here, X Games Aspen 2025. We are in the middle of Pacifico Men's Ski Big Air. 2 rounds here in this competition. Format change in 2025. The round that we're in now, it's called the playoffs. 3 rounds of runs. Best run counts for each one of these skiers. Top 4 move on into the final. This is where we stand right now. It's an X Games rookie, Luca Harrington, sitting in the top spot with a 95. Your defending gold medalist from last year, Troy Podmelsack, right behind him with a 94. Miro Tabinelli with a 91.33, and Mac Forehand holding on to that final transfer spot as of now. This is the middle of run number 2. They each get 3 runs here in this new format with the playoff and the final. So here it's about getting into that top 4. Once we get into the final 4, they're each going to get 2 more runs. They're working off a 100-point scale, and it is the best run that counts before we hand out our final set of medals here in Aspen. We are about to drop in Matej Sponsor, walking away with a silver medal earlier this weekend in an event called Knuckle Huck.
Oh, there's that nose butter. No way, Matej Sponsor, nose butter, triple cork. Are my eyes deceiving me, Jimmy? Or am I seeing this action here tonight? Aspen, the crowd is going nuts. Watch this takeoff. We call it a nose butter because he puts the noses into the takeoff early, starting the spin, initiating it early, adding so much extra difficulty. Butters off that takeoff, gets the grab, rotates around, gigantic aim. The name of the game is Big Air, and Matej Sponsor, nose butter triple cork 1980. It doesn't even sound like a real trick. Believe me, if you don't know free skiing, it still doesn't sound like a real trick to me.
What you saw in the top right corner of your screen, that was a look into the athlete. Guys have their work cut out for him here tonight. You got Jason Ahrens as the head judge, Dan Allen, Tobias Gratz, and Adam Frizzell handing out the scores here tonight. You need better than a 90.33 and a 93 for Matej Sponsor. That is going to put him into the cut. That'll bump Mac Forehand out as of now. Miro Tabinelli now sitting on the bubble, but a huge run for Matej Sponsor as we bring in Alex Hall.
Another one of those butters off the takeoff. Alex Hall with his own. He sees that. That's a tail butter. Coming off that lip switch, doing the same thing we saw from Matej Sponsor. Initiating the spin early, watch from the drone. You see all that snow blow off the lip, gets onto the tails, spins around with that opposite Japan grab. Just buttering the toast. Maybe that's almost Texas toast. You need an Italian dinner to go with this piece of bread.
So what's it going to be here for Alex Hall? And look at the bar to get into the top 4. I mean, 91.33, so an 81.66 for him. Down but not out. Remember, 3 runs here in the playoffs. And it's just 1. In the past, you needed 2. You had to combine your 2 best. Now it's 1 and done. So it'll come down to that 3rd and final run. This is the bottom of the run order here before we get into that 3rd and final round. Your gold medalist from Big Air. Last year, it's Troy Podmelsack.
Sitting on a 94. We saw the 2160, the trick that won him the event last year. Just doing something. I mean, that's not mellow for anybody watching, most of us that enjoy free skiing, but for him, just kind of feeling it out, thinking about what's next. He did that 2160 here, just going relatively simple, corking out that 14 even, not even that much for him, just spinning around, wraps it up, thinking about what it would be like to go into 1.5 more of those, bring it around to switch. So some planning, some strategy going.
Look at the grouping, 95, 94, 93. It is so close, a point separating first to second, point from second to third, and then 91.33 for that bubble spot.
I mean, all the way through the top 6 is still a nearly 90-point score. This is...
Yeah, a 90's not going to get you in at this point. No. A 90.33 is not going to be enough to do it in the playoff round. Oh, my goodness. So comes down to round number 3. Again, for those of you just joining us, this is just the playoff. This isn't even for the medals yet. Once the top 4 is decided and we go into that final round, they're each going to get 2 more runs. The scores get reset to 0. We do it all over again. 2 more attempts before we hand out some Pacifico men's ski big air gold. Dylan Deschamps, X Games rookie here, lining up for his 3rd and final attempt in the playoff.
Let's see if he goes for the bio triple to 1800 again. Oh! Going down hard. Dylan, only athlete tonight doing that bio diving forward rotation, similar to the cork, but moving in that forward direction, going 1800 and 3 full flips in the forward direction. This is just so dangerous, the way you got to flip out of that last rotation. The impact so hard, so heavy. Dylan not able to handle that one.
He took a couple of big hits out here tonight, these last 2 runs, but again, good to see him bounce back up from that one. But Dylan Deschamps, welcome to the X Games. He gets a roar of applause from the crowd here in the corral. 22 years old, does roofing and construction work during the summer, and then just throws himself across the 70-foot gap in the wintertime on national television.
Yeah, just a casual winter line of work.
Miro Tabanelli was sitting in that number 3 spot. He now finds himself in a precarious position. Why? Because you don't want to be on that bubble. Looking to bump up that 91.33. Here we go with the Italian.
Tried and thought about the 2340. Well, we see the first free skiing 2340.
No!
Miro Tabanelli has spun to the future. 6.5 full rotations, 2340. Count them. It is not a real number.
Whoa. It hurts my brain to even just contemplate that rotation. Did you see the windup?
Winding up like a top spinning.
Lord.
I feel like he spun so fast that he elevated more amplitude. It's like a helicopter taking off on this one. Comes around, grabbing that opposite tail. Cuban grab there, watch. Gets the grab and gets into this insane wrapped up body position that becomes this vortex of spinning all the way. Yep, 2340. Count them. Snowboarding just had the first 2340, and now we've got one of our own.
Never been done. What a night, or what a weekend for the Tabanellis. His sister won ski big air gold last night, and a 98. What? A 98. That is 2 points shy of perfection.
The Tabanellis are here.
A 98 in the playoff. Again, I cannot stress this enough.
This is the finals.
You can't. This isn't even for medals yet. This is just to get into the medal round. All right, I'm standing up.
I couldn't sit down any longer. This is 2340s. What? This is futuristic.
98. So now Mac forehand has been bumped out. You need a 90. You need better than a 93. That's Matej Svensson sitting on the bubble now.
Wow.
I got to regroup.
I got to catch my breath. It's the altitude and the spinning. I can't keep track.
Luca Harrington, your slope style gold medalist, now sitting in that number 2 qualifying spot.
Okay. Another athlete like Troy Teapot that we see doing an easier trick. Still a gigantic 1440 blunt, but he is leading up for that triple 19 again that scored really well, sitting with that 95. So the slopestyle gold medalist from earlier in the week, ready to go for more medals, knows that the playoffs are about done, sits in a good spot. He's ready for the finals.
Yeah, that 95 from round number, but again, a 98, 95. The scores are
98, 95, 94, 93?
Yeah, just to get into the cut, you need a 93.
We have saved the best for last on this final night of X Games Aspen.
Wowzers, we still have 5 people left to go here. With some big wigs in the house. That's our new CEO of the X Games, Jeremy Bloom, on the right, and the Google co-founder watching the action unfold here tonight. So you picked a good one to watch because you're getting an eyeful, and we're not even into the medal round yet, boys.
A lot more to come. Free skiing at its finest here in Aspen.
So Mac forehand bounced down to that number 5 spot. 90.33 is only good enough for 5th as of right now.
Oh. Mac forehand wants that 1980 perfect, just misses maybe the set on that first one. You have to get the set, the initial spin of that rotation so gripped, so ripped off the takeoff in order to spin that much. Just misses it by a slight hair, not able to then rotate that additional spin. The fact that that run of his is not even going to make his 90.33 is not in. No. It's not going.
So your 2023 Big Air gold medalist is not going to make the final here in 2025. Burke Ruud sits 2 spots out. 89.33 was the best we've seen out of him thus far.
It's going to have to be a 2160, 6 full spins if he wants to keep up with the level of action going on tonight. No. The grab. Has to get that grab in order to get that final flip, the final spin. Unfortunately, another athlete just missing. It's a minute moment on that takeoff where if you don't get that insane rip, that crazy pop and spin, so hard to come around. But the air awareness by Burke Ruud to open up when that was meant to be another flip in there, just open up, lay it out, put his feet down to live to fight another day.
So Burke Ruud, your 2-time Big Air gold medalist, also not going to make it in. Matej Svancer holds on to that number 4 spot for now. There's 3 skiers left to go. Matej is up next. After that, he's only got one person standing in his way of him getting into that final, and that is Alex Hall. Troy Podmilsack, your defending gold medalist, skis last. He's in that number 3 spot for right now.
Really love the nose butter trick that he did in round 2. Did a nose butter 1980. So just something different. You see a lot of these big rotations, and someone like Miro Tabanelli, you see that huge 2340, but it's still just a normal takeoff. Adding a butter, which is that early spin, pressure on the noses or the tails, is how you can really rack up some insane scores. Okay. Matej Svancer, that one is switch. He did forward off the noses. This one, tail. Take another look. Watch this takeoff close up. Sets low in the transition, pre-spins into that butter rotation, then gets that grab, locks in. Insane to be able to wrap after that spin. Comes around, and right here, it's looking insane. Spreads the legs, open up. I mean, if this was a 2-jump format, again, like it has been in years past, those two could easily be a winning combination. As it is now, is that an improvement?
No, it's another score in the 90s, but he'll stick with that 93, and he's going to have to watch with one more competitor on the outside looking in. You're in for now, Matej. He's going to have to watch this next guy who happens to own 2 gold medals in this event. So Matej on the left, sitting in that final transfer spot. Alex Hall on your right. 2-time gold medalist in Big Air. Can he get in on this last hit?
Look for another one of those early butters. Wrapping up, going for the 18. So our X Games gold medalist, the first to do the 2160 here, going for the tail butter 18, but an absolute fan favorite. He did a 0 spin on this jump earlier for the crowd, for the people. Always amazing to watch him. Competed in 4 events this weekend.
One of those was a gold. He got a knuckle huck gold medal, but yeah, he was in street style and slope style as well. So Matej is gonna make it in. And your defending gold medalist from last year, he's in that number 3 spot, so he's going to be a lock for the finals. Our final 4 are set. Now it's all about positioning here. They're going to run him in reverse order from 4th on down to 1st going into that final. So one more run here in the playoffs for Troy Podmelsack.
Look for a warm-up of something. Just another wrapped up. I mean, it's nothing for him. This forward takeoff of his, he gets into that cork, triple corking maneuver where he kind of stays in that access, but it's coming down to the finals now. He's in, and it is going to be a showdown in these finals.
You had 4 returning gold medalists. Half of the field had a gold medal coming into this event, and only one of them made it into the final, and that's last year's gold, Troy Podmelsack. That's huge. So the field has been set. Matej's sponsor hangs on with that final transfer spot. Your defending gold medalist in 3rd. X Games rookie Luca Harrington qualifies 2nd, but it's the Italian Miro Tabinelli who qualifies 1st. We'll have the final when we return.